from what will probably be the last Algeria video. I have mounds to edit and upload, so yeah, this will be like the last 2 days of the tour, which I can't believe we've already got to. It's been such a fun week, but it's also been such a busy week, but yeah, time has flown. So I'm currently in the ABC Hotel, which is where we've been staying for most of the time in Algiers, but today we are heading up into the mountains. We're heading to some amazing Roman ruins, and then we are going all the way to Constantine, which is a city about 5 hours from here, and then tomorrow we're seeing Constantine and driving all the way back. So yeah, I'll take you with me, I'll show you around, and it should be a fun day. It should be quite a lot to see and a lot of history to learn about. But first I need to pack. I need to sort all my case out. There's not been too much packing and unpacking on this tour. We have had 3 nights here in Hotel ABC in Algiers, so that's been quite nice. But yeah, now I've got to pack a load of stuff and get ready to go at 9 AM. So we drove out of the city and headed east. Our first stop, after a quick lunch break that is, was the Jammila Ruins. So we are in Jammila Ruins, which is about 4 hours from Algiers. We drove quite a way, but these are super impressive ruins. You could just spend hours getting lost in them. They were an ancient Roman city, and yeah, just phenomenal. Loads of different parts of it as well. And these ruins, they exceeded every single expectation I had. Oh my goodness. They were probably the best ruins of any civilization, not just the best Roman ruins, the best ruins in total of every single ruin I've ever seen in the world. And I've been to 66 countries now, so yeah, incredible. Djémila was an ancient Roman city that was originally known as Cuicul. Hopefully that's pronounced right. This was a Roman hub, and it was established during the reign of Emperor Nerva between 96 and 98 AD. The ruins were perched on a rocky spur at an altitude of 900 metres, and they were right between 2 mountain torrents. So they were in a really advantageous position for the Roman city to keep an eye on everything that was going on in the surroundings. The Roman city grew substantially in the early 3rd century, and then was when all of the iconic structures that we saw today were added. This included the Septimius Severus Temple, which always reminds me of Harry Potter, the Arch of Caracalla, a marketplace, and a civil basilica. Nowadays, Djémila is a UNESCO site and has one of the world's best preserved Roman ruins, not just in North Africa. Like, these were incredible, and I just found it mind-blowing how deserted they were. I mean, if these were in Italy or Spain, they would be full of tourists every single day, but because Algeria doesn't get so many international tourists, honestly, it deserves so many more international tourists. It was incredible. But because Algeria isn't as touristy, it just means that these sites are much quieter. The grounds feel absolutely enormous, even more enormous because we were virtually the only tourists there. But actually only 40% of the site has been excavated, so there is still a lot of history to be unearthed here. I say that Jammila Ruins are close to Constantine, but they're still about an hour and a half drive away. So yeah, not that close really, but as Algeria is such a massive country, it doesn't seem too far. We stopped on the edge of Constantine for dinner in a local restaurant, and then we headed straight to the Hotel Ibis, which is where we stayed that night, and woke up to this incredible view. This was literally from our hotel room. Constantine is the 3rd largest city in Algeria. It's surrounded nearly on all sides by the Roumel Gorge, and it's actually one of the oldest cities in the world, originally founded by the Phoenicians who came from modern-day Lebanon. Unlike Roman cities like Djémila and Tipaza, which we saw in the last video, Constantine kept adapting and evolving, and nowadays it's a modern Algerian city. The Phoenicians originally built a city here due to its natural defences, i.e. the gorge which surrounds the city, and nowadays it's known as the City of Bridges because there are so many bridges from different eras of Constantine's history crisscrossing the deep gorge. As you walk around, you'll feel like you're going through a time capsule of Algeria's history. It has Roman, Ottoman and French-built bridges and influences from all eras of the city in its architecture. The bridges and the gorge was absolutely spectacular. It reminded a lot of people on the tour of Ronda in Spain, but yeah, it's got a charm all of its own. But there's plenty to see in Constantine beyond the bridges as well. One such thing is the Ahmed Bey Palace. This was home to Ahmed Bey ben Mohammed Sharif. He was the last Bey, which is a ruler of Constantine. His palace was completed in 1835, which was only 2 years before the city fell to the French. Then there's a huge Kasbah. This is the winding streets of the old city. It's home to market stalls and lots of excellent street food. There's a history museum in the centre of town, which is a really great place to get an overview of the city and the region's history. We had shakshuka for lunch, which is a traditional Algerian food. It's basically shredded bread with a really delicious sauce. So we've just been in the third largest mosque in Algeria. You can see it behind me. It is very impressive. I love a mosque. I love the architecture and how geometrical and sort of crisp all the architecture is, and this one was very impressive indeed. This sits on the edge of town and it's very welcoming to visitors. I believe it is the third largest mosque in Algeria, and anyone's welcome to go in as long as you're modestly dressed, and women must cover their hair. It was a long old drive back to Algiers. It took about 4.5 hours, but I would say it was well worth it. Djémila was hands down the best ruins that I've ever seen anywhere in the world, so definitely one to add to the bucket list. And Constantine was an epic city as well. I've never really seen a city with the same kind of amount of architecture and bridges and the deep gorge. It was pretty phenomenal. This is us just driving back into Algiers now, so thank you so much for watching this video. I should have a few more roundup videos about Algeria coming, so do stay tuned for those, and please do hit the subscribe button if you're interested in seeing more videos from Algeria, Africa and elsewhere in the world. Thank you, bye!